10 verses from 57 through 66. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أنبياء الله جميعا وعلى سيدهم وخاتمهم حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال فما خطبكم أيها المرسلون؟ قالوا إنا أرسلنا إلى قوم مجرمين إلا آل لوط إنا لمنجوهم أجمعين إلا امرأته قدرنا إنها لمن الغابرين فلما جاء آل لوط المرسلون. Shukran, thank you. The son corrects his father. فلما جاء آل لوط المرسلون قال إنكم قوم منكرون قالوا بل جئناك بما كانوا فيه يمترون وأتيناك بالحق وإنا لصادقون فأسر بأهلك بقطع من الليل واتبع أدبارهم ولا يلتفت منكم أحد وامضوا حيث تؤمرون وقضينا إليه ذلك الأمر أن دابر هؤلاء مقطوع مصبحين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. So the story of Ibrahim and his guests is divided into 3 parts. We listened to the first part last week. Today the second part, and hopefully I think Thursday. Are we going to have a session Thursday, Thanksgiving? Yes? Would people come or only 2 or 3 people? What do you think? Okay. Inshallah, next session will be, we will speak about the third part of Ibrahim's story with his guest. So, some people say from 3 to 7 angels came to visit Ibrahim alayhi salam, and he did not recognize them in the beginning. This is why he said, you are people who are munkarun, unknown to me, ambiguous. They were from something between 3 to 7. And when they arrived, and the story, you know, my friends, the story happened in the Sham area, the Sham region, the Levant. And Lut alayhi salam, who was the prophet for people who were living in 5 towns or 5 cities, Sodom and Gomorrah, and another 3 villages. And the story is mentioned also in book of Genesis in the Torah, chapter number 19. This story is mentioned. It has a biblical account too, not just the Quranic account. Lut, being the nephew of Ibrahim alayhi salam, when Ibrahim received the guest, he was surprised. He was a little bit shocked. And at that time, the tradition was, when a guest comes to you, today, people bring him the most. If they are too generous, they will give him a cup of tea. Nowadays. First they ask you, and if you say no to the cup of tea, then you get nothing. You visit people and you get nothing. This is in America, of course. But back in the East, Arab countries and other countries, they flood the guest with food, with pastry, with the fruits, with... Ibrahim alayhi salam, he went and he brought فَمَا لَبِثَ أَنْ جَاءَ بِعِجْلٍ حَنِيثٍ. This story also is mentioned in Surah Hud, chapter 11. He says, this is how he received his guest. He brought them a roasted calf. Roasted calf, huge. This is something very huge. فَمَا لَبِثَ أَنْ جَاءَ بِعِجْلٍ حَنِيثٍ. And at that time, when the guest comes, they will eat, of course. If they decline, if they don't eat, then that would be considered a sign of hostility. When a guest comes and he does not eat your food, then he has something evil. He's harboring, he's concealing something against you. So it would be a very worrying sign. This is why Ibrahim alayhi salam was worried when he brought them this roasted calf and he put it in front of them. It's a huge, and definitely it is tasty and smells good. Okay? And they declined. Their hands did not reach it. فَلَمَّا رَأَى أَيْدِيَهُمْ لَا تَصِلُ إِلَيْهِ. They are not eating. He was worried. He said, what's going on? So he asked them, قَالَ فَمَا خَطْبُكُمْ أَيُّهَا الْمُرْسَلُونَ. He said, Ibrahim said to them, what is the purpose? مَا خَطْبُكُمْ means, what is the purpose of your visit? What is the purpose? If you are not eating, you are coming for what? He was worried. So he said to them, what's up, guys? What are you doing here? So they answered him, we قالوا إنا أرسلنا إلى قوم مجرمين. They said to Ibrahim, we have been sent unto a guilty people. Guilty of what? In Surah Hud, God mentions the guilt and the sin committed by those people, the people of the 5 cities. God says, approaching men in desire and instead of women. Their men would approach other men in their desire and instead of approaching their women. So that was their guilt. So, قالوا إنا أرسلنا إلى قوم مجرمين. Apparently this habit or trait or orientation, whatever you want to call it, it did exist since thousands of years ago. This is not something new. It's not something new. إِلَّا آلَ لُوطٍ إِنَّا لَمُنَجُّوهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. The only people who are going to escape the punishment is the family of Lut. And not his entire family too. His wife is not part of his family. This is what God says. Though today your wife is supposed to be the closest one to you, your husband is the closest family to you. When someone asks you here in America, do you have a family? What does he mean? Does he mean, do you have a father or a mother? No. If he asks you, do you have a family? It means, do you have a husband? Do you have a wife? This is the meaning of family. But God here says, إِلَّا آلَ لُوطٍ إِنَّا لَمُنَجُّوهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. Save for the family of Lut, the nephew of Ibrahim, we shall surely save them altogether. So he says, save them altogether, but there is an exception. Though he said altogether, but then he left one as an exception. Inna. So it seems that the entire town, or these 5 towns, were practicing this type of behavior, except Lut and his family. Can you imagine? Though his wife did not practice it, but she was promoting it. His wife, the wife of Lut, history does not tell us that she was practicing this act, but she was promoting it and helping them and guiding them and encouraging them against her husband. إِلَّا آلَ لُوطٍ إِنَّا لَمُنَجُّوهُمْ. We will save them altogether. إِنَّا لَمُنَجُّوهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ إِلَّا امْرَأَتَهُ. Except his wife. Except for his wife, قَدَّرْنَا. We have determined. Taqdeer here in this context means we have determined. We have decreed. We have determined. قَدَّرْنَا إِنَّهَا لَمِنَ الْغَابِرِينَ. She will indeed be among those who lag behind. She's not one of those who is going to be saved. She would stay behind, lag behind, and she will receive the punishment too. فَلَمَّا جَاءَ آلُ لُوطٍ الْمُرْسَلُونَ. So when the messengers came to the family of Lut, Lut here, again, the nephew of Ibrahim, who does not live far away from his uncle Ibrahim alayhi salam. They were both in Bilad al-Sham, in Palestine, in that region. Today, Sodom and Gomorrah are in Jordan, in Jordan's today on the map. And Ibrahim was in Palestine, so they were neighbors. They were in the same vicinity. فَلَمَّا جَاءَ آلُ لُوطٍ الْمُرْسَلُونَ. When those angels, before they went to Lut, they passed by Ibrahim first. So they visited Ibrahim, they told him about what is going to happen, and then they left Ibrahim and his nephew. They came to the house of Lut this time. So they came to his house. فَلَمَّا جَاءَ آلَ لُوطٍ الْمُرْسَلُونَ. When the messengers, the fa'il, mursalun is fa'il, messengers. They came, they visited the family of Lut, ala Lut. قَالَ إِنَّكُمْ قَوْمٌ مُنْكَرُونَ. He said, verily, you are unfamiliar people. I haven't seen such faces before. Why they were unfamiliar to him? There is a point here. There is a point, important point here. Why he said to them, why did he say to them, إِنَّكُمْ قَوْمٌ مُنْكَرُونَ. Truly, verily, you are unfamiliar folk, unfamiliar faces, unfamiliar people. There is a point here. We have to pay attention to it. A prophet is smart. God does not send someone who is dumb and he makes him a prophet. Definitely a prophet of God, he represents God. He has to be intelligent. He has to be knowledgeable, intelligent, wise, open-minded. He reads things. So why Lut here, when they came to visit him, the angels came to visit him, he said, you are very unfamiliar. Munkarun. Munkarun is when you don't know someone, not only you don't know, you are apprehended, you are worried of this person. How did they look? He has not seen in that region such people. How did they look? Ahsant. They looked very handsome, young people. So it seems that Lut is seeing beautiful people for the first time in his life. Because those people usually do not live in that region. So he's seeing faces that he has not seen before. He does not recognize them. This is the first time he sees such handsome and beautiful young people. قَالَ إِنَّكُمْ قَوْمٌ مُنْكَرُونَ. So they said to him, they wanted to pacify his fear. They said to him, قَالُوا بَلْ جِئْنَاكَ بِمَا كَانُوا فِيهِ يَمْتَرُونَ. They said to him, we bring you that which your people doubt. We are bringing you the news about what people usually doubt about. What did they doubt about, the people of Lut? What did they doubt about for so many years? They doubted about what? No, they did not doubt about their action. For them, their action was good. Exactly. They doubted that God is unhappy with them or He is going to punish them. They doubted. They argued with Him. They did not believe Him. They said, whatever we are doing is fine, is okay. So don't threaten us. Stop threatening us. So the angel said to Lut, we are coming to tell people what they have been doubting for so many years. We are bringing them the answer. قالوا بل جئناك بما كانوا فيه يمترون. يمترون, my friends, in Arabic means when some people you present them with the fact but they still reject it. They deny the fact. They don't believe in it. They don't take you serious. This is يمترون. So they've been arguing and quarreling with their prophet Lut. They did not believe him. They did not trust him. They did not even take him serious. So they said, the angels, we are giving them the answer. And what is the answer here? We are telling them about the punishment. If they don't give up, there is a punishment. There are consequences. وَأَتَيْنَاكَ بِالْحَقِّ وَإِنَّا لَصَادِقُونَ. And we bring you the truth, and surely we are truthful. We are not kidding here. This is something serious. What we are going to tell your community and you, it is very serious. And it is the truth and nothing but the truth. وَأَتَيْنَاكَ بِالْحَقِّ وَإِنَّا لَصَادِقُونَ. Lut alayhi salam was very distressed. And he was very fearful also. Fearful for what? He was fearful when they came. Not because of them. He knew that now they are peaceful, but he still was fearful. Exactly. He was fearful because he knew that his people are going to assault them and harass them. Another musibah came upon his head. How can he protect them? Those people here in his town. He's very worried about their fate. What will happen to them? He's very worried. So they said to him, وَأَتَيْنَاكَ بِالْحَقِّ وَإِنَّا لَصَادِقُونَ. Don't worry about us. We are bringing you the truth, and indeed we are truthful. Now, next, this is what you must do. فَأَسْرِ بِأَهْلِكَ بِقِطْعٍ مِّنَ اللَّيْلِ. Asri. Quran uses asri. Asri fi'l, command. From what? From Isra. Isra. Originally from Isra. What is the meaning of Isra? We have a chapter called, in the Quran we have chapter 17, chapter Al-Isra, or Bani Israel. Exactly. Traveling during the night, when someone travels, usually people do not travel through the night. But when they travel, that journey is called, nightly journey is called Isra. The Prophet traveled during the night from Mecca to where? To Palestine, Jerusalem. Subhanalladhi asra bi'abdihi. Glory to God who took his servant on a nightly journey. أسرى بعبده ليلا, during the night, من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله. From the sacred mosque of Mecca to the farthest. Aqsa means farthest mosque. That we blessed it, and we blessed the surroundings of it. The surroundings. So they said, the angels, the messengers of God, they said to Lut, you have to leave this town during the night, not during the day, during the night. فَأَسْرِ بِأَهْلِكَ, with your family. And who are his family in this case? His kids. He had only one wife and he had kids. But don't leave your wife behind. God is going to tell him, leave your wife behind. فَأَسْرِ بِأَهْلِكَ بِقِطْعٍ مِّنَ اللَّيْلِ. بِقِطْعٍ, set out with your family during the night. بِقِطْعٍ مِّنَ اللَّيْلِ. قِطْعٍ, part of the night. Part of the night, not the whole night. The journey should not take you the whole night. Part of the night. It means you have to leave it quickly. بِقِطْعٍ مِّنَ اللَّيْلِ. وَاتَّبِعْ أَدْبَارَهُمْ, and follow behind them. Follow behind whom? And follow behind them. وَاتَّبِعْ أَدْبَارَهُمْ. No. Exactly. Follow behind your family. Meaning what? Unlike what most people do, especially in the Arab countries, men are ahead, women 20 meters behind them. MashaAllah. Only 20 meters, not more. Always, men always. The angels are saying to Lut, put your family first and you are behind. Why? To protect them. To protect them. You have to respect your family. Don't leave your family behind, as many people do. He's there and his wife in another street, always walking behind men. This is not good. We have to respect our women and children. We have to respect our family. A good father is the one who puts his family first. Nothing wrong when you allow your children, your wife, your daughter, your son to move before you. Nothing wrong with that. فَأَسْرِ بِأَهْلِكَ بِقِطْعٍ مِّنَ اللَّيْلِ وَاتَّبِعْ أَدْبَارَهُمْ. You walk behind your family. وَلَا يَلْتَفِتْ مِنْكُمْ أَحَدٌ. This is very interesting. And let not any of you turn around. So when you move, you don't turn around. Why you don't turn around? This is a gesture. When some people are leaving somewhere and they keep turning around, what does that mean? What does that mean? It has many meanings. One of the meanings is what? They are not sure of the path. They don't know whether this is right direction, right street, right, GPS or not. This is one reason. What is the second reason they look behind? Scared and fearful, because they might be chased by their enemies. What is the third reason to look behind? Yes, almost, Hassan, almost, you are there. Because when you are attached to your place, to your home, to your village, to your country, and someone says to you, you have to leave, you have to evacuate, you are still attached, you don't want, you are leaving reluctantly, with sorrow sometimes, with pain. You don't want to leave your town. This is exactly what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did. On the night of Hijrah, when Jibreel said to the Prophet, you have to leave Mecca because they are going to assassinate you, you have to leave tonight. The Prophet left, but he was looking behind and he cried. because he was almost 53. He lived 53 years of his life in Mecca and only 10 years in Medina. He died at the age of 63. So after half a century, he's leaving his town. So he cried. God said to him, إِنَّ الَّذِي فَرَضَ عَلَيْكَ الْقُرْآنَ لَرَادُّكَ إِلَى مَعَادٍ. Don't worry, Ya Rasulullah. I know you are sad for your departure, but God, who the book ordained you with this book, He promises you He's going to take you back to Mecca soon. And this is exactly what happened. So the angels are saying to Lut, when you go, don't look back. I know this is your town, those are your people, but enough is enough. Usually prophets, they feel sorry for their followers. Even if their followers are bad, even if they are sinners, even if they are criminals, still most of the prophets, they feel sorry for them and for their fate. But the angels are saying, don't turn around. Go forward. Don't look back. فأسر بأهلك بقطع من الليل واتبع أدبارهم ولا يلتفت منكم أحد ولا يلتفت منكم أحد. Let not any of you turn around. وامضوا حيث تؤمرون. But go forth wheresoever you are commanded. God is going to command you. The angels are going to tell you where to go. Follow that direction and go. وَقَضَيْنَا إِلَيْهِ. And we decreed unto him. And we decreed this matter unto him. What did we decree? Very, very painful, really very painful. Even when I read it, I am overwhelmed with sorrow and pain. God says, we decreed this matter unto him. What is it? أَنَّ verily دَابِرَ هَؤُلَاءِ مَقْطُوعٌ مُصْبِحِينَ. That the remnant, dabir means the remnant, what is left, of those people will be rooted out in the morning. Wow, none of them is going to survive. In Surah Hud, إِنَّ مَوْعِدَهُمُ الصُّبْحِ أَلَيْسَ الصُّبْحُ بِقَرِيبٍ. Their appointment, their time is in the morning. Isn't morning very soon and very close? They say, when God asked Jibreel to destroy these 5 communities, Jibreel went there to execute the order. But God said to him, listen, put it on hold. We gave them warning. Give them until dawn. Why subh? Why God says subh? He could have executed the order, during the night. But he did not do that during the night. God gave them a respite, some time. From evening till the morning, several hours. Why? Exactly. God said to Jibreel, Ya Jibreel, if you hear even one voice out of those, I don't know how many was the population, I really don't know. Neither history tells us how many people were there. But if you hear one voice of them who says, I seek forgiveness, I go back to God, I stop my sinning. If you hear a voice of someone who cries, a voice of remorse, a voice of regret, a voice of istighfar, then stop that. And Jibreel did not hear any voice. None of them. إِنَّ مَوْعِدَهُمُ الصُّبْحِ أَلَيْسَ الصُّبْحُ بِقَرِيبٍ. Inshallah, next week we will go through the rest of the story and we conclude the story and see what happened. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات تابع اللهم بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات إنك مجيب الدعوات إنك غافر الخطيئات إنك ماحي السيئات وجاعلها حسنات إنك على كل شيء قدير. Yesterday we lost a member of our community, a lady who used to come to this mosque, Hajja Ma'souma Farhad, the mother-in-law of Dr. Abdul Karim Ja'far. And tomorrow, inshallah, today she was buried And tomorrow at 6 p.m. is her memorial here, inshallah, at 6 p.m. And Salatul Jum'ah at 12 noon, inshallah. وعجل اللهم في فرج سيدنا ومولانا صاحب العصر والزمان وإلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات وإلى روح المرحومة معصومة فرهاد. الفاتحة مع الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.